What's good? We back. It's the Boston Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. If you missed it, we had a good live stream about Regis Progress and Julius and Dongo and Andre Derrill and Uzagi going on March 3rd on the Wilder Ortiz card. A lot of other different boxing Q&A questions we had. Probably Wednesday I'll do a Q&A on these fights this week. That won't breakdown prediction video to go Eubanks and George Groves, but let's get into it. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder said that he speaks to, Joesph Parker. He speaks to him often, I guess. I'll link the article to the description. And he says he gave Joe Parker some pointers on how to beat Anthony Joshua, but says that, he'd be lying if he said he wanted Joesph Parker to win this fight. And that being the reason for that being is that the payday that Anthony Joshua brings for him. If Joesph Parker beats Anthony Joshua, obviously it'll be a rematch. It's a rematch clause in Joshua's favor, and the purse split will go into Joesph Parker's favor, and it'll be, Wilder and Joshua will be put off for another year because Joshua only fights 2 times a year, and that'll be his last fight for this year. So, Wilder really wants that payday and wants that fight with Joshua when he said it brings back the heavyweight division back to its top peak and its top form. But, his pointers for Joe Parker, taking on Anthony Joshua, said he got to keep moving by punching while he's moving and moving his head. He said he tells that to Joesph Parker all the time. Says he got to move his head, keep him moving and punch, and keep punching while you're moving. And, I can't fault Joesph Parker for trying to get the best advice from everywhere. I mean, you do your homework. You never know. I remember, Sean Porter asking Timothy Bradley, the angles and the recipe he used to beat Devin Alexander way back when, and it worked for Sean Porter when he fought Devin Alexander for the IBF championship. It worked for him. And Joe Parker, I know most people are like, he got a team and trainer that's weak. You do your homework, and why not pick somebody brain who already got a game plan already, mapped out for beating Anthony Joshua. When he want to give you some pointers and they sound kind of valid, go ahead and use them. But Deontay Wilder's becoming the godfather of the heavyweight division now. Now you're giving people pointers on how to beat, Anthony Joshua. If you talk to Joesph Parker so often, you should explain to him, you should have got to him and made that fight. And I understand that he missed the VADA drug testing with the WBC and VADA, and that kind of threw a monkey wrench in him and Deontay Wilder fighting. But, they letting Anthony Joshua get every piece to the puzzle until he ain't got Deontay Wilder's piece to the puzzle. And I think he fine with just having all the pieces and waiting on Wilder until he feels like, it's a chink in Wilder's arm, or he get older, or he get beat by a lesser foe. And it's funny, Wilder doing all this chirping and all this talking and giving all this advice and playing advisor and playing coach. But, he need to be worried about Luis Ortiz. He treating Luis Ortiz like this dude is just a 2-step, or a 1-step. This dude is a serious threat. I don't care how y'all feel. Y'all can say 50, 60 years old. Bernard Hopkins was doing this thing at 50. Roy just retired at 49. Luis Ortiz is a dangerous foe, man. Wilder overlooking him. Like I said, man, if the odds are good enough, you might as well put some pesos down on Luis Ortiz versus Wilder, because Wilder is just treating this dude like, he ain't even there. He giving, he looking forward to Joshua. He giving tips to Joesph Parker. What does this do to James Brown of the heavyweight division? He giving people tips and dancing and stuff like that in his workouts. You need to be worried about Ortiz, but like I said, he just seemed thirsty and thirstier for an Anthony Joshua fight. And you can't blame him. He said to make at least $12 million what Joesph Parker making. But I ain't mad at Joe Parker. Do your homework. Try to upset the world, shock the world. But at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua gonna bash his face in. Y'all know what it is. We gone.